And we're back with some more oxygen not included on the 141 dupe challenge. Now, I think we got about 6 left to go. All the rest are in rockets. We've got 6 in rockets down here, 1 over there in rockets. That's 7. So, yeah, we've only got another 6 to go. Before we put together our final little mini base, though, I just wanted to have a quick look down here and clean out the oil biome. There is a bunch of junk down here, and we never got around to cleaning it out. But now that all the oil is gone, we can. Now, you may be wondering why I was getting around to this now. Well, that's because there was too much fossil down here. We were already at, what, cycle 407, and there was still fossil left in the oil biome. I couldn't live that down. If we check out on the minerals here, do we have any left? Ooh, we got a few little bits and bobs lying around the place that we're going to have to take care of. There's some up there in the top left, but over here, oh, they have also got to go. This is embarrassing. Much, much, much better. That is every piece of mineral on the whole map gone. And we've started doing a little bit of bricking off down here. We're going to have to start trying to improve frame rate wherever we can. So we're going to vacuum this out. Well, get rid of all the sour gas. You have no use for it. Also, there's a little bit of zombie spores in here. The crude oil that was down here, some of it boiled. Unfortunately, touched some abyssalite. And yeah, there's a little bit of zombie spores running around the place. But nothing we can't deal with. Plus, it's sealed off in here inside an area that's, well, exclusively atmosphere only, so no one should get sick. And once we dump all that gas into space, it'll be even less of a problem, as in 0. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of walling off down here, while at the same time we're going to suck out all the gases, just a lot of them. I've put in 8 gas pumps all the way along, a couple of gas storage tanks to combine them all, and it's all getting dumped out into space over here. Seems to be working pretty well so far. But while that's all underway, let's get started on our next little mini base. Now, we don't technically need this base, but we kind of do. We'll find out later. For Dupe Patron 1 to 36, we have a Gravy Train, who will end up becoming a machinist, or mechatronics engineer. Dupe Patron 137, Soren Hansen, plus 7 strength will be going straight into tidying. A bit of a different thing we've done on this one is we've started using the actual pedestals this time around. We have enough of them that we can fill this whole place with artifacts. This is going to dramatically improve the decor. This is the way it was designed to be used, because flower pots just don't reach far enough. It's no matter what you do, they only reach about 4 tiles, which means you can't really use them across multiple floors. However, to get these to work, we place them on granite tiles, then we deconstruct the tiles underneath them, and you can place, the dining tables under them. Even though the dining tables only take up 1 square, the dupes can sit on them, and even though the pedestal is technically where their head should be, they don't seem to mind. And as well as that, even though these pedestals are now missing a tile, they still completely give off their decor. You can see here, they still get highlighted, they still provide their decor bonuses. It's just a nice way of cramming in decor as tightly as possible. It's why I really enjoy these little mini mazes. They just work. To deal with all those annoying flashing pedestal missing symbols, a simple plan. Suppress notifications mod. I'm not sure if you can copy paste those settings though, can you? Oh yes you can. Perfect, there we go, all gone. No need to worry about any of those nasty notifications again. In fact, we are going to suppress those on our water coolers as well. We've turned them off. We don't want them getting any water into them. Nice. Okay, base looking absolutely beautiful. Look at all of that glorious decor. Up here we're looking at about 750 is the minimum we're seeing around there. Oh wow, it's actually a lot more in the middle, but 750, 618, so about 618 or 640. 618 is the minimum anyone's going to experience living in here. I'll call that a win. Small notification of insufficient oxygen generation. We only generated 7.4 tons instead of the 7.6 we were supposed to. Wow, we were short 200 kilos of oxygen. I think our oxygen requirements are a little bit excessive. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. To get things started, we've already plugged in the cooling. That way we've got a nice cold metal brick to work with. Then we're going to start turning on the water to get the oxygen flowing. So the oxygen will flow through there and it should help cool down the base a bit. It is a little bit toasty, just a tad, because of all those pedestal items we brought in. All of those artifacts were sitting in the bottom of a rocket silo, but at about 200 degrees Celsius. But hey, few 100 kilos of oxygen through to these atmosuit ducts, and that should solve that problem pretty quick. Oh, just before we turn this on, we have hit a record point. 416 cycles means we're out of slime. In fact, all of our slime is gone. Some of our plants have now got no slime and cannot be fertilized anymore. We are at the end of our mushroom journey. How many we've got left? We've got 9 million calories of mushrooms left. We'll be switching over to barbecue almost exclusively. Well, We'll slowly be eating into those mushrooms until the barbecue comes fully online. Up here, we're up to 76 in this one. So these 48 dupes are fully sustainable. These 48 dupes are almost fully sustainable. And how is that overheating? What? Wait, why? You can't overheat, you're not allowed. It turns out we made these gas reservoirs out of iron ore. I have no idea how that happened. And not only that, because it was a copy-paste job, we did the exact same down here. Oops. Yeah, we're going to have to replace those with some gold amalgam ones. This will just take a minute. For Dupe Patron 138, we have Quantum Zari, who will be going straight into suit wearing. Probably an astronaut, I'm thinking. 139 is DX. I have no idea. I tried even Googling that. There's nothing. I got nothing. I'm sorry. You're going to be a rancher, though. Dupe Patron 140. Chris Rainking. No idea if they're related to Anne. Don't ask. Straight into gophering. We lost about 300 kilos of hydrogen, which was unfortunate. Some popped eardrums, some scalded dupes, and of course, the dupes that went to build it were the worst construction dupes we had. Like, they had no atmosuits on. They were very low construction skill. It took them forever. We've also replaced down here as well. Oh, close that up. The other side is actually made of gold amalgam, though. We were running so low on gold amalgam, I made those ones out of steel, just because. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, we were going to activate this new place. I'm actually thinking about doing a minor modification on this. Actually, it's not going to be very obvious if we look at this one first. You know what? Let's go up here. Yeah, this one's been around for a long time, and it gives a better idea. Down the bottom, we have all these power transformers. And those power transformers generate a little bit of heat. It's not too much of a problem, but it does mean that the bottom of our base ends up a lot warmer than the top. So what I was thinking, this bottom layer here usually feeds to the atmosphere ducts, and it's usually pretty active. So if we just move that oxygen line down here and run it through there, it should provide a little bit of cooling and maybe keep this, not so hot. Well, that's the plan. Should be fair. Oh, God. That is so much gas piping. But it looks beautiful. Much better. That looks... Okay, not quite symmetrical. The lines aren't perfect on each side. They're not both perfectly mirrored with each other. There was a little bit of creative interpretation between the left and the right side. But it's close enough that it looks good enough to me. Now, one last thing. Actually, over here, the temperature is just a little bit too warm everywhere in here. I don't like it. So I think what we'll do is we'll crank down the cooling on this. Why not? We've got the margin for it. We are going to make this go down to 5C. Yeah, that should be fine. And that will reduce the temperature quite a bit, and that means any oxygen going through here will drag a lot more chill with it. We should hopefully be able to chill this place down to, well, not 50 degrees. I mean, some of these areas here are 58, 59, 60 degrees. Yeah, some of the dupes are getting a little bit toastier than we would like. We've only got one more duplicate left to go, so I'm thinking still have not finished the rocket chimney. The rocket chimney needs to be expanded out. We've got one last scraping to do. That'll require us to move everything, and actually, we don't even have time. The reason being, we'd need to move this rocket down here a few tiles over to the right, and it's not going to arrive in time. So what project should we do before the last duplicate comes in? Ooh, I've got an idea. Do we have enough glass, though? Having a quick look, we are a little bit short on glass, and by that I mean I want to stick together a quick statue. Just sort of as a finishing touch now that we're just coming up on the 141 mark. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's throw it in right here. The mod that allows us to build rockets one on top of the other without actually having the previous piece built also allows us to build the monument this way. Nice. The only problem is we are short on a head, as in monument top. We've got 1800 glass. I've got 3 glass forges working flat out. Hopefully we can increase that. If we get to 2500 in the next about cycle and a half, we should be able to finish this before our next 141 duplicate arrives. Well, we don't quite have enough for the head yet, and I think we're down to about 1.3 cycles. Or is it? Yeah, we got 1.3 cycles before we're due our final duplicate, or our 141st. Yeah, we're going to go with 141st duplicate. So 3 glass forges is not doing it. Let's throw in a couple more. If we hurry, maybe we can just hit this anniversary. I should have planned something special for this. Just silly of me. 1 cycle to go. I think we're going to hit our numbers. Now we just got to figure out what type of head and body and everything we want on this thing when we get it done. While we're waiting for this to complete, I do like that everyone's just sort of queued up here at the bottom having a bit of a wait. I think they're enjoying the statue. I think it'll work out. And who's building that? Brandon? Brandon, you better have good construction skills, buddy. Oh, nope. Sorry, Brandon, we are going to have to get you to move away. Someone else is going to take over that job, preferably someone with a construction value slightly higher. Nothing personal, it's just we're in a little bit of a rush. Who we got here? Maxim. Yep, 0 construction as well. Okay, you know what? It's fine. We've got time. You can finish it, Maxim. It's okay. Duplicant 141. Now, it was a long time coming, and Zombie Pops gets to be reborn. However, they were originally an Ashcan. However, there's no Ashcan to choose from. If there was, this would make this very simple. But they did become a mechatronics engineer. So I'm thinking, we've got another Zombie Pops here. In fact, it's Zombie Pops, because why not? Sorry again about getting you killed, Zombie Pops. Yeah, I should have just deleted the ladder. There's lots of things in hindsight I should have done that could have saved a life. But welcome. Welcome back. In honor of our fallen dupe, we have made sure that our statue head is Ashcan. And since they're a mechatronics engineer, we've given them the midsection of an engineer. Though, not sure about that. They were a green body. And for the monument base, of course, we've got the hatches because, yep, we lived on a lot of hatches. In fact, we are still striving to go through all the hatches. Where are we? On hatcherless numbers, we still have an absolutely ridiculous amount of them down here, churning us out lots of coal. Coal-wise, we're at 964 tons. We are currently demolishing all of these slime farms because we don't, well, mushroom farms, we don't need them anymore. This whole section can go. In fact, we're probably going to be decommissioning these coal farms in a bit, though we might want to put in more solar. But first off, there is one more thing we want to do to celebrate. This took a little bit of time to put together, but I would like to introduce you to the tea break. This is the tea break that everyone gets to have now that we've finished. Now that we've got to 141, we've got the water set up, we've got some fridges full of pinch of pepper nuts set up, we are going to connect up the power. It's going to be a little bit expensive. Will we be able to run this indefinitely? Maybe not. It might not be quite possible. But I think we've got enough that pretty much all our duplicants, if they want a tea, they can get a tea. Alright, with that, I believe that's my cue to take a tea. Though there is a couple of side projects I want to get finished. This map is not completed just yet. You know what? Let's just let them... We'll save some of this footage up for later in the episode. One of the final things I need to do, or one of the things that desperately needs doing, is getting rid of the last of this neutronium. If I don't finish shaving out this rocket chimney, it's going to hurt my brain. It just needs to go, the lot of it. Oh, and I should really wall in those bits. Oh, yep, that was a mistake. It's fine. It's fine. We can just we can come in from the top here, build a ladder down, and slowly wall that in. While hundreds of kilos of steam just vents off into space. It's fine. It's fine. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. Now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult shaving off the last section. Reason being, well, there's just so much of it to go. You can't really squeeze in the rockets quite as handily. In fact, hydrogen would do really nice here if it wasn't for the fact it would probably fry our chimney. But I'm thinking, where is it? Down here, we've even deleted our rotational rockets, and we're getting in a few that will help us scrape out some of the bottom sections we already missed. If you notice there in the top left, we have finally hit 141 dupes. And it's not because we've taken all the dupes out of the rockets. We maybe have been hiring a couple more, or maybe we just haven't stopped. 142. Oscar Benzie. They will be in charge of ranching. At 143, we've got Tiger. Welcome to the team, Tiger. You will be a cook. I don't really want to stop hiring because we're so close to 150. All it takes is... Actually, we got 2 in rockets, so... Yeah, 7 more. 7 more after this, and we'll be fine. That's why I made the second base. And maybe just a couple more after that. I think my record's at 80, so if we get 160, we can double that. I've got a whole list of more people's names here, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. Though we're probably going to need some more reed fiber, and we're probably going to have to get into hydrant. But no. First, let's have a look at some of the stats. This will be our page of duplicants. Well, our 21 pages of duplicants. There's just a lot of duplicants. I've been going through here, and just one interesting thing to note is we have 192 mess tables. That's actually on page 4. We have more mess tables than we have airflow tiles or metal tiles. We've more beds than we have bunker tiles. There's some weird things going on here, definitely. But the most popular one is, not the apothecary, it's the ladders. Ladders at 11,000, 6,000 for tiles, gas pipes is 5,000. The only reason the tiles are catching up is I've been walling in the edge of the map. Actually, I should probably mention that bit. Yeah, if we check over here, you'll see I've been walling in as much of the map as I possibly can to try and maybe squeeze out just a few more frames. After that comes the insulated tiles because, well, of course they do, they're so useful. Then we've got liquid pipes, and after that it kind of just gets boring. Insulated tiles, radiant, automation wire, 1,333 pieces of automation wire, a lot of drywall, window tiles. Kind of surprised at the automation wire, that's a lot for it to be on page 2. Now, average power produced has definitely been going just up and up and up. Calorie generation, yeah, that's kind of flim-flamming around a bit. We're going to see a big drop-off here because, well, we've stopped using mushrooms. Those other big spikes are when there's die-offs on the shovels. Total oxygen produced, yeah, that just keeps going. You can see every time we turned on a Rodriguez, you can see that massive spike in power or production as it filled up all the suits. Total oxygen consumed, yep, it's just a straight line, just going straight up. Calorie consumption, same thing. You see the dip here, that's where we had duplicates in rockets, well, more than average. Average power wasted. We're not wasting so much power anymore, probably because we've got those T-stations running flat out. Duplicates, pretty much a straight line. There's a little bit of a blip here and there from rockets. Also, what cycle are we on? 1 second. We currently have 143 duplicates. 2 are in rockets, that's why they're not showing up there. To get to this point, that actually means we just have to multiply 140 by 3, and that gives us 420. We should be on cycle 420 at this point to have this many duplicates. We're 6 cycles short because 1 duplicate died and probably just accidental unpausings, even though we had that pause thing to pause every time the printer pod went off. Maybe I accidentally unpaused a few times. It happens where you just press the button to pause when it's doing it and you miss stuff. It was a pretty long game. So we were 6 cycles short of, well, being perfect up to this point. I'm not going to cry over those 6 cycles. Average work time, you'll see, just plummets the further and further they have to travel from base. Also, yeah, the athletics and most of them, we never get a chance to train it up. They're running around and they'll eventually get better. It just takes them a long time. Average travel time has pretty much been terrible for a long period of the day. Like 40% of their time is spent traveling. Oh my god. Rocket missions underway. Yeah, that's going to oscillate a lot. Domesticated critters just keeps skyrocketing. And wild critters kind of plummeting, but evening off. The domesticated critters thing, that's, let's see, where is it? Yeah. This counter was really helpful for doling out exactly how many shovels go in here, especially once you're past the early glut of regolith. It's very slow. These keep dying out. I should probably only have about 6 critters in here, and why is there 16? They keep laying them in the corner sometimes. It's fine. It's fine. End of the day, they all end up outside. I think, alright, this is not going to be the end of this series, but I am going to be taking a little bit of a break from it. This one it was exhausting. It was more the case of the amount of time you have to spend. Like, I think, I checked the autosaves. It's about 11 and a half minutes between saves. If I don't pause anything and just let it run, 11 and a half minutes per cycle. So it was more a case of I could queue stuff up and then, yeah, you still have to be here and keep an eye on it because they will find a way to hurt themselves. They definitely will. Now, I've just reloaded it recently to try and make it speed up a little bit. But you can see we have just so much oxygen piping everywhere. Plumbing is absolutely simple by comparison. Over here, though, you'll notice this is at about 160 to 170. This has been oscillating between 120 to 200 kilos of water pressure. So that's just with all the water vents and the rocket chimney going into it. We are not adding in any excess water from around the map. So this is actually pretty stable. We seem to be producing and creating as much water as we need right there. I don't think we're quite even, and we will probably run into more problems as we add on more and more duplicates. But for the time being, it seems to be actually stable. I'm kind of shocked. Our industrial brick worked out perfectly for us. It was super simple, did its job. We even just threw in the battery box there at the bottom. Whole thing is nice and cool. I'm actually really proud of that one. After that, yeah, this plastic press, I turned it off ages ago. We had more than enough plastic to make the ladders, and we don't need those fancy beds. Not where our duplicates are going. Also, this Rodriguez down here, I really meant to expand this, do more with it. I was going to put in a cooling solution and everything, but yeah, the microbase has just kind of obliviated that entire need. And yeah, this giant block along the side, that's just going to keep expanding. We have so many duplicates, it actually is pretty quick to do. They just run over and it's like 1 duplicate per block. Not a bother. Over here, yes, have not started burning the petroleum yet. Don't need to. Created it as an emergency. In fact, we're using this to boil some water. This is probably the negative. We're taking 2 kilos of water per second out of here, and we're boiling it by passing it through a bunch of petroleum. So technically, we're not fully self-sufficient yet. It will take more rockets, which get around to once I finish shaving these damn things. These things just need a good shaving, right, and we're fine. One little project I had to queue up before I could call this a semi-finished base. We needed a proper fire pole. We needed one that went all the way down the entire length of the rocket silo. It needed to be done. There was no two ways about it. Also, we're just about ready to launch some more scraping rockets, but that can wait. I just want to sort of revel in the ridiculousness of this base. It did its job. I've turned off the anti-entropy nullifiers up here. Reason being, I just want to melt this biome and be done with it. We have definitely got enough space for all of our upcoming duplicants. We don't need any more icy cold oxygen coming from anywhere. This biome did a good job. It absorbed a lot of heat from a lot of oxygen. We installed this very early on, and it's now what, cycle 427? Still quite a large chunk of it is intact. Ooh, another little side project I want to get started on in the background is this one down here. This is pixel packs. It turns out they give a nice little decor bonus, and they can fit behind pretty much anything. And I mean anything, including walls. You can stick them behind walls. Yeah, they give about 20 decor per pack, and we are going to cram down a whole bunch of them here and see if it helps us out on our negative decor problems at the top of these bases. Well, eventually we'll have enough space artifacts, but that would require a bit of a retrofit of the dining area, and we'd prefer to avoid that if we could. So let's see how good these are. For future projects for this base, well, actually just a couple of major ones. One is we need to extend on this solar. This solar needs to be extended on so that we can get more regolith to feed our shovels. At the same time, I need to move all of the solar down here, one tile to the left. This one is out of alignment. Thanks for pointing that out in the comments. Yes, I didn't notice, but now that I've seen it, I cannot possibly unsee it, and now I am stuck with it burned into my brain forever until I move all of the solar panels one tile to the left, which reminds me I should actually deconstruct a few of these. Buggery. But never mind. It will be fine. It will be fine. That telescope can be moved out of there as well. It no longer needs to access the stars. We've researched everything, all the planets, all the way out. In fact, there's some really nice planets here. There's a helium world with nothing but niobium. So that means we could send that out and get, well, okay, a third niobium. Where's the other one? There is a gilded asteroid that's 33% fullerene. That stuff is very rare. Very, very, very rare. Now, if I recall, I think there's a second fullerene asteroid. Is there a ranger somewhere? Oh, no, never mind. But that does mean if we do decide to go full space, or if we develop enough frames or get our hands on a supercomputer, we could just start throwing together liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen rockets, say somewhere over here, and just start going to get those. Will we? Probably not for a while. Namely because it's too slow for anyone to do anything. Are you guys almost finished with that fire pole yet? You know what, let's just skip forward to the fire pole. I want to see a duplicant take it all the way from top to bottom. Our ladder / slide is complete. Let's summon a duplicant up here to go take the plunge. Actually, while we're doing that, let's have a quick look at scheduling. This got real interesting. So I made 12 schedules, however, I messed up. I technically really made 11. I made the 12th one up here, but this was sort of a blank one that I put pipe in before I moved them out. And then I only made 11 schedules after that, so now we have all of these different schedules. And it's a nightmare to manage. Let me explain. If you hire 2 or 3 duplicants and you forget to schedule them, you then have to click in here, and they're not sorted alphabetically, they're not sorted chronologically, I don't know how they're sorted, no one knows how they're sorted, it's a mystery, okay? So you come in here and you just have to start scrolling, and you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to find that one duplicant that you hired, 6 cycles ago, but yeah, they're in there somewhere. I didn't bother trying to get anyone into specific rules, like if someone had day whatever, I didn't try to put them on day. It couldn't be bothered. There was too much effort involved in that. Oh, and you, come here. We're going to schedule you to go all the way to the bottom of the map. Alright, let's follow Annoy here on their journey to the bottom of the map down our fire pole. Yeah, and bear in mind, this is at the highest speeds. Or sorry, normal speed. I can't play it any faster. You know what, let's speed it up and see if we can go a bit faster. Oh, there we go. Now we're motoring. People will lag out a bit more, but we've definitely got some speed going on. Oh, never mind. Save. Good thing they've got that atmosuit on. If they didn't have that atmosuit on, I'm pretty sure the friction burns would murder them. They would have... Yep, hot. That's correct, Annoy. Anyway, go back and... Wow, are you still got to build that drywall? Does that mean you have to go all the way back up to the top? No, downtime for you. That's going to be a long journey. Alright, I think I'm going to cut this out here. We've got more than enough done. For the future, I think we're going to be doing a few base leveling videos. I need to get out a bunch of those. I need to start doing some base leveling videos, and I'll try and intersperse a video or two of this in the middle. I'm going to sort of do this as my downtime one. So like, when you're relaxing on this side, I'll be a little bit more relaxed about it and won't have to worry too much. Plus, I'll do all the duplicate names at the very end. Or at the beginning. I'll just, it won't be as it goes on. That way I can relax more about doing it. I don't have to do it during specific times. And I can work a lot more on this in the background. One weird thing that's been happening, and I can't figure out an explanation for, is people falling asleep at the entrances and exits of the base. For example, we have Ralph and Lieutenant Shepard there, who are both exhausted and taking a nap. Right there? It makes no sense. They literally have beds right inside. Might be a case of it's taking them so long to get back here that they don't have time to go to sleep, and instead they miss their sleep and end up just passing out in random places. There's Matthew down there also taking a nap as well. No idea why that's happening. Can't figure out a way around it just yet, but haven't really had the time. When you're trying to hire people every cycle, or every 3 cycles, it makes things much more difficult. And oh my god, I didn't realize those pixel packs would have power symbols on them. Oh yeah, well, let's hope the decor was worth it. Whoa. Okay, that's different. Right. Well, it's a lot of extra decor, I'll give that. 360, 180. Okay, so it's not the worst. That's actually pretty handy. If we could get them all the way across, that would actually be totally worth it. However, first, let's suppress those notifications and do something like that. Oh, that looks so much better. In fact, that's not even a bad background. We shall cut this out here for today. I am miles late as always, but I've been miles late just pretty much from the moment we started making this. The reasoning being, it just takes too long to get them out. Hopefully I can get back to the normal schedule after this of 4 episodes a week. Next up will be more RimWorld. After that, we'll be doing probably a few base living videos, maybe interspersed with this. I got some days off coming up, and I'd really like to get in some hardcore work on this base. Nope, never mind. Just, I hope you enjoyed this little trip down 141, and good luck. Also, save game file is attached, so if you want to see if your computer can handle it, go ahead. Takes a few minutes to load up, though. Knock yourselves out.